morning, good evening, good night, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again to another session of Living World of Darkness. This is a scene for the Mage venue. Things have not been going well today for Tomi Lovechild. In fact, if you take the worst possible scenario short of death, that is basically where we can place her tonight. This whole ordeal, most likely you could say, started several days ago when her roommate first turned up missing. Then one day passed. She thought maybe she met someone, maybe she'll be back. 2 days passed. No, it's probably fine. She'll come back. She's just off doing Maggie things. 3 days, 4 days, and now the fifth day. She had already told just about everybody who she knew she was mutual friends with Maggie with about what happened. She had already sort of sent them out hoping that they would keep their eyes peeled for her, but she's gotten nothing back. Absolutely nothing. The most hopeful moment potentially came when she got a text on her phone. She's like, oh shit, maybe somebody found her. And when she checked it, her face went absolutely blank, as if she had seen a ghost. She threw it across the room and in a sort of a rampage wound up tearing up her entire house. Something has got to be done about something now, and she can't do anything about the message she just got. So it's time to invade her roommate's privacy. He basically shoves open the door to Maggie's room and begins tearing through it like a little tornado, looking for some sort of evidence as to where her roommate could possibly be.
Tommy will find, well, before she got to it, was actually a pretty neat and tidy room for an artist. A few easels with half-done paintings on them and paintbrushes all over an entire shelving unit on the wall. Paints, sketchbooks, you name it, it was there. It isn't until she starts going through Tommy's or Maggie's dresser drawers and things of that nature that she finds mail. Old mail. Mail that looks like it was maybe school related, more than likely, but it had an address. An address which went into the city itself, into an area just north of Columbia University for an apartment. And the letter itself is dated over a year ago. But it is a lead. Not a great lead, but a lead.
The hell? She looks at it. Considering it's just school correspondence, she just shrugs and keeps flipping through the things where she found that letter. Is there anything else?
There is her checkbook, or I should say, checks that have been sent back to her that have been cashed out. There's one that was for a month ago that still seems to be made out, and the memo on it says rent. And you know for damn well that Maggie didn't pay you any rent.
Looks at the envelope with the old address. Looks at this rent check. Well, she figures Maggie probably lived somewhere before she moved in. So, yeah, she's gonna basically grab these papers and just storm out the door, slam it shut, and hop on her bike and go.
She'll come into an apartment building just on the edge of Harlem. and it's not a high rent area by any stretch of the imagination. It's upper lower class, maybe, just on that cusp of being middle class. So it's a fairly rough neighborhood, but it's still light outside, so it's not terrible. But on the back of one of the letters is written a door code, which will get her in through the main door, and she lives on or the letter itself leads to a mailbox, and that mailbox has on it not an MK, but a KS or a K Sanders written on it.
Sanders. She's assuming nobody's gonna stop her since she seems to have all of these codes and stuff already in the paperwork. She's going to head right to this room and yeah, check if the door's locked.
The handle's locked, yes. But if you made yourself a little perception investigation or awareness.
Sure. Nada. She's gonna start knocking on the door.
Hey, what do you know? When you're knocking, and I'm guessing you're knocking hard enough, little something kind of falls and hits you on the head, lands on the ground in front of you. It's shiny and metal.
She rubs her head and leans down to pick it up.
It's a key. This must have been sitting on the door frame on the very top of it.
She sticks it in the doorknob, in the door handle, and checks and sees if it works.
That definitely works. Door opens. What Tommy will see inside is an apartment that looked fairly similar to how Maggie set up the old place, minus the writing on the wall. But notice that there's a lot more stuff in there that looks to be owned by somebody else, perhaps of the male persuasion. But it's all kind of in this. Wow. It's in this kind of set of disarray, and there are bottles and cans all over the place. Doesn't look like dishes have been done in a week, but someone's definitely been there. And there is music coming from the back bedroom.
He's gonna look around. What do the things that are owned by this other person look like? Like, what kind of person was this?
Seems to be a lot of like skateboards that are kind of mounted up on a wall. There are a fair number of photos up on the wall of what looks to be Maggie with brown hair, very natural-looking brown hair, hugging on to a guy with sort of blondish auburn hair, maybe.
Aww. She'll pick up one of the pictures and sort of carry it. She's gonna head towards the room with the music.
What Tommy will hear is a Have you ever heard the "I'm So Lonely I Could Die" by or Lonelyville, whatever it's called, by Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Lilo and Stitch, you know which one I'm talking about.
I'm gonna take a deep breath, hoping this isn't some weird stalker who attempted to murder her friend.
The door just kind of opens without much effort, even at the knock.
I'm gonna peek her head in.
She'll see Maggie laying there looking rather disheveled, wearing really nothing more than a t-shirt and underwear, sort of laying there, just kind of sort of staring up at the ceiling, and there's a rather big picture kind of on the actual ceiling itself mounted, a painting that looks like she'd done a long time ago, something of an abstract. And she's kind of laying there, one hand over her stomach and another arm just laying flat out. And you'll notice that there is what looks to be like a rubber strap around her upper arm and a few needles laying on the side of the bed.
Oh shit. Tomi's, she's gonna shut the door behind her, and she sort of hesitates at first, but she's gonna walk over to Maggie and sort of start shaking her. Maggie?
What?
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
This is a bed.
No, what the fuck are you doing? I had no idea where you went. What is she sort of she looks at the rubber strap on her arm and at the needles and why?
Had a rough had a rough night.
So instead of coming to talk to me about it, you ran away for a week and shot up?
To be she'll stop and think about it. It's been a week.
Yeah, you've been gone a week. I know what happened. I thought you were dead or something.
Huh. Didn't feel that long.
You see, Tomi's she's sort of tearing up and trying very, very hard to not punch you square in the face right now. I I thought that I'd lost you too. What the hell?
She'll kind of scrunch her face a bit and turn and look up at Tommy, still kind of laying there, and just looks at her a bit perplexed. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Everybody's fucking gone and you were gone and I thought that somebody had taken you or that like you had died or I don't know. Or one of those fucking suits and sunglasses found you.
No, I don't think any suits or sunglasses would have found me, or at least had much reason to. Died? Maybe close. Woke up the other day, face down, bloody nosed again.
Why?
I. And she'll sit up and she'll pull the rubber strap off her arm and take the needles off the bed so they're not, accidentally poking somebody. And she'll place them on a sort of like a mirrored plate on the end table that's got various paraphernalia, things like that. As she scoots up, kind of looks down at her arms and looks over at Tommy. I found the cop who killed Keith. And
Oh,
I put a gun to his head and I pulled the trigger.
so you killed him?
No, the person who gave me the gun put blanks in it. But I was very ready to.
What happened afterwards?
I don't know. How many days has it been since Sunday?
7. It's Sunday again.
Jesus. I don't know. I kind of walked in a daze probably for most of Sunday night, I guess. And then Monday I came here because I don't know. I needed to feel like I had a reason for what I did. And all of Keith's stuff's still here. After that, it all kind of came a blur. She'll look down at both arms, which have track marks all up and down them.
We need to get you back. I don't know, back home.
She'll look at Tommy and put a hand on the side of her neck. Been through this before. Tommy, I'm okay. Just at a low point is all.
But this isn't okay. I thought you were done with this. She picks up one of the needles.
You ever heard the old adage that a smoker's a smoker when the chips are down? Addict's an addict.
Fuck. Fuck. You were doing so well.
Maggie will kind of shrug as she kind of scoots to the edge of the bed and just puts a hand on or an arm over Tommy. Look, I go through these spurts, okay?
Picked a really shitty time to do it, okay?
What's wrong with you?
See, she's just started to cry. Sort of sitting there. I I came to find you because I didn't want you to be dead. But Rupert's dead.
Wait, what?
I thought everybody was dying. I don't know what's happening.
How?
Everybody just disappeared. Just gone. Like one fucking day, 1 week. I don't know who's left. I don't know who's gonna be next.
There's a long pause before Maggie just kind of leans over and grabs a hold of Tommy and pulls her close into a very, very tight hug.
She'll hug her back and put her head on her shoulder. I thought you were dead too.
Nah, not yet, kid. Not yet. Still here.
I don't know what to do.
Well, the first thing you can do is not wipe your nose on my shoulder.
Sorry. She'll wipe it on her own sleeve. Rather on the part of her tank top, since she doesn't have sleeves.
she'll kind of ruffle Tommy's hair. Can I get a shower before we kind of sit down and discuss things? Because she just kind of looks at herself. I haven't showered since Sunday.
Yeah.
And about 10 minutes passes. Maggie takes a quick shower, comes out looking a little more human. And she goes and makes some coffee for herself and Tommy and leads Tommy away into the living room, turns on the lights that were off, and sort of lights a few candles before bringing coffee and sitting next down to Tommy. How the hell do you know what happened?
No. I have no idea what happened. I got a text from the bank, and that's how I know what happened.
That's a real shitty way to get that kind of news.
I haven't gotten a hold of anybody. I don't know what to do. Now he's not around to tell me what to do.
Hey, and she'll kind of squeeze Tommy's shoulder. You didn't need him to tell you what to do. He was just helping to put you on a path.
I don't know what path I'm on. I still need him though. I'm not ready.
Shitty thing is that no one really ever is when this kind of shit happens.
He didn't even tell me he was going anywhere or what he was doing. The last time I saw him, we were with Jade and we were just talking. And all that I know is he's dead.
Well, first things first, we have to find out what happened to him, right? I mean, maybe it was just like a random accident, and that kind of stuff happens.
How could it be random? I don't see him just suddenly having a stroke or something.
Could have been walking across the street and gotten hit by a car. Could have been anything.
Such a dick to him. I mean, it was playful, but
Well, that's kind of went both ways. Tell me.
yeah, but I never even got a chance to thank him for saving my life. for bringing me here. For, I don't know, for everything. The last thing I did was call him an asshole.
Maggie will just kind of gently pat the back of Tommy's head.
No, that's the last thing I ever said to him.
I don't think he thought you really thought of him as an asshole, at least not in a bad way. Come on now. I thought he was an asshole. But he was an asshole that I liked. And besides, he adopted you. I think he knew that you were thankful. I really do.
I don't know what to do. All I have is this big empty building, and a fucking deposit like that means anything.
Take it one step at a time, I guess. I mean, we gotta break the news to everybody else first, I guess. And then we go from there.
I don't have to do any of this. I want my friend back.
Maggie bites her own lip and just kind of squeezes Tony's hand. Because it was the last thing she said about Keith not too long ago to somebody else. I know what you're going through. I really do. And I wish I could tell you that it's gonna be okay. That your time wound heals all wounds and all that stuff, but the truth is that it always hurts.
Tomi's gonna grab the bag that she brought in, sort of start rifling through it. It's full with all the alcohol that was in the house. And she'll stop when she gets to a bottle of orange juice. Pull out her phone and shoot a text to Jericho for grabbing a bottle of red wine and opening it.
Maggie will get wine glasses, and not the stemware kind, but like just the table glasses.
Okay. With that, Jericho will not enter the scene quite directly. He's been given a little bit of instruction about where these two are, but he's not going to rush this, simply because he has no idea what's going on, and he is so fucking ill prepared for this, you have no fucking clue. He'll go ahead and text forward, actually, Maggie before he starts entering any codes to get in.
Maggie's phone is actually probably dead right now because she doesn't even realize it's been a week since she came to this place.
It's gonna go ahead and it's gonna take like 5 minutes. Gonna try the codes. Beep 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 beep.
Door opens.
Okay. Door to the apartment or door to the complex?
Door to the complex. The apartment itself's door is unlocked because somebody didn't lock it when they came in. Heathen.
Fair enough. Jericho's going to go ahead and wander around the facility for a little bit until he gets to the apartment number on his phone. Notices that the door is completely wide open.
No, it's not wide open. It's just the lock is not locked.
Okay, fair enough. But it's closed, which means
It is
I
closed.
knock. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Maggie looks to Tomi. Did you invite people over?
Just Jericho.
Okay. And she'll sort of slide up and walk over to the door, and she'll stop before she gets there and make sure that she rolls down her sleeves past her elbows, and then opens the door.
Maggie will see Jericho, not with any particular face, no faces at all, actually. Looks to Maggie and simply say, I got a few really, really bad messages. Is everything okay?
Maggie just shakes her head. No. Far from it.
Tommy's in the background, crying and chugging wine like it was water.
She'll point to Tomi. Tomi's hitting the Jesus juice really hard.
Okay, gonna come in?
Yeah.
Okay. Jericho's gonna go ahead and push on forward. Notices that Tomi is in the bottle quite a lot. His heart will go ahead and fucking leap. It's a very, very interesting idea. Totally not prepared for this.
Everything's falling apart.
Jericho's gonna go ahead and walk towards Tomi, probably sit on the couch cushion beside her, look to her, wrap his arm around her shoulders. It's not all that bad. I don't even know what's going on.
I found Maggie here and she wasn't okay. She pulls out her phone. She shows him the text. It's a bank deposit for a fuck ton of money or something about inheritance. About having her claim some huge inheritance. Rupert's gone.
Jericho's gonna go ahead and rely on an old standby. And before you can even utter the words, I'm sorry for your loss, Jericho just stops himself in mid-sentence and says, tell me, I am sorry.
The last thing that I said to him was that he was invisible and now he's dead.
That might have been the last thing you said to each other, but I know for a fact that that's not his lasting impression of you.
There's no impression of me. He's dead. He's gone. I'll never see him again. Nobody will.
You of all people tell me know that that isn't necessarily the case.
Jericho looks at Tommy, and he simply says, "Do you think that Rupert ever regretted any part of his life? At any point?"
I don't know. He always talked like he didn't, but I don't know how true that was.
Then I guarantee you, at some point or another, he will come back to us.
How? He's dead.
That man, Rupert, for as far as I can tell, was a brave sort, was one who did not take two shits from nobody, who knew himself, knew the world, was very, very worldly. I knew that man. He knew his skill with a gun, as well as with a knife, as well as with any larceny tool that he had. That was a man fulfilled. That was a man that had absolutely no change upon his soul, no change upon his avatar. He, even though he is dead, he returns. People like that will always return to us.
I don't know if you're talking literally or if this is some sort of wheel shit, but
It's
I
wheel
don't know
shit.
what that means.
It's wheel shit. Tell me, I don't think I have the right words for you right now, but at least I am here, at least I am presence.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what to do. We had a bunch of plans, a bunch of really cool ideas to use the whole love child thing to clean this place up, but like now he's gone and they cut its head off. I don't know what's gonna happen to all of it.
Two more take its place. Now, do you think you're gonna have to deal with this shit all by yourself?
I hoped not.
None of us really are as experienced as he was, with the exception of maybe you, Jer, but let's face it, you and I at least are in everything together. And I'm pretty sure that extends to Jericho too.
Tell me, tell us about this man that passed.
He he always told me that he didn't regret anything. He always told me that the whole point of living his life was to enjoy it, was to do things because they were cool. He built up that big criminal empire. Not It wasn't like a personal thing. It wasn't to make money. He built it to help people who were stuck in that kind of thing find a way out. He was like fucking Batman meets Robin Hood, but turned it into like the mafia. I don't know. He was like he was a romantic criminal. wasn't a criminal because he was a bad person. He was a criminal because the law failed, because he saw a world that he could make better and he went and he did it. He When I awakened, he found me in what was basically a fucking 1,000 car pileup, a huge accident on the side of the road. There was a guy with a gun following me, and he'd never met me. I'd never even seen him before, and he saved my life. And he took me back and gave me a direction to go in.
What else did he give you, Tomoko?
Gave me instruction, but he gave me freedom. When I first started hanging out with you and exploring the wheel, he didn't try to hold me back. He said if that was right, that I could join you. But even when I was unsure, when I was like looking around, he still was always there. He was always happy to have me back.
What made him happy?
I think he sort of liked how much of a badass I thought he was. He liked feeling that way. He used all of that to help people. I think he just liked being completely true to himself. I'd never met anybody who wasn't like 50 fucking masks all piled onto each other. I'd never gotten that from Rupert. He was always who he said he was.
Jericho goes ahead and tints off and gets a bit depressed about that one.
But not you. You know what I mean. Not like literally. Figuratively.
This is what we ought to do. What we ought to do is we ought to remember Rupert Lovechild for the man that he was, for the legacy that he left behind, and for his fucking character. Because not a lot of people in this world of darkness have the fucking character that he had. Tell me, if you let me, I want to memorialize him. I want to make sure that the Magi of the city remember him.
Yeah. I want that too.
And I'm sorry for the sadness you are going through.
Just don't know what to do now. It feels like the entire floor was just ripped out from under me.
When you sent me those messages, you were looking for people, right?
Yeah, it was before I was trying to find Maggie. I thought she was gone too. I thought the worst after the message I got.
It's not as quite as catastrophic at all that, look, she's right there.
Yeah.
I'm here too. A lot of people I know are still walking around, still breathing.
Guess so. It just doesn't feel right for him to be gone now. I don't even know what happened.
All you know is that he's gone because of the wire transfers.
Yeah.
That's a real good sign? That's something he told you to look out for?
I mean, not really. He'd never even mentioned it, but I still have to jump through a bunch of hoops for this inheritance bullshit, but he left me the place.
He left you the tower? Really?
Yeah.
Damn. He must have really trusted you.
I don't know why.
Tell me, it's because I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised about this at all. If he is gone, it would only make sense that he would leave you his most valued possessions. I mean, seriously. You took his name. Practically a daughter to him, if not a daughter to him. You went ahead and cheerleaded him, yeah, but that's the kind of man that loves who he loves. That's the kind of man that adores who he adores. That's the kind of man that is loyal to a fucking fault. He trusted you. I can tell you that much. He wouldn't have given you that name if he didn't. I'm pretty sure this one over here has been telling you all that.
Tommy goes really quiet, just nods, pours herself another glass of wine.
Go ahead and talk more about him. Jericho's going to go ahead and start to disentangle himself from Tommy. I really never knew the man. I want to know more.
I don't really know where to start. Still trying to process that he's even gone. Just want to know what happened. So we had this big plan where we were going to go into Manhattan, where all that gang violence was going on in the news.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna go clean it up. We'd talked to some people. We'd started making some deals, and we were gonna make street life less deadly up there. When we when we went to meet with the guy we were making a deal with, he said that the reason he was doing it, that the main appeal that he made was because all these people are trapped there. They're trapped in that life. They can't get out of the violence, the drugs, the crack houses, the prostitution, places like that. He wanted to he wanted to basically buy it like it were an actual business so that he could give them a way out. So that if they didn't want to be there, they weren't forced into circumstances that were not not right for them, I guess. Not what they wanted.
A way to push the wheel, yes.
Well, no. It's weird. I mean, he was this big criminal mastermind, but the thing that he wanted most was for, like, he did more crime fighting than criminal activity, I think.
He will be remembered as a vigilante, not as a criminal.
I guess so. He used to have he had this sort of fan club. They were all in his like stupid little book that he kept of all the girls that he had numbers for. But I remember there's always these like little gaggle of goth girls, all from this club that just fawned over him all the time. It was so stupid.
They will make excellent mourners. I'm sorry, that might have been a really, really crass joke, but that's kind of what I do. I arrange end of life services.
We should hold a real one for him. I mean, like, you know, an actual service.
Should probably
That's what I
see
mean.
if he has any next of kin as well.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm gonna do. This is what I want to do. I want to remember somebody like this.
Jericho, do you think you can handle most of the details, at least of the mundane part of it?
I can arrange with my support network a lot of the mundane stuff, and I can make a venue. I can arrange for a casket to be there. I can arrange for all the invitations to go ahead and be sent out. I can arrange all that, and I can make sure we have a decent amount of privacy and secrecy and respect.
Thank you. Maggie kind of gets up as she walks over to her own liquor cabinet and opens it up, and it's surprisingly barren aside from what's plastered all around, like the little mini island and all that sort of stuff. And she grabs out a like an older looking bottle, and she'll set it down. 70-year-old brandy. My grandpa left this when he passed away. Only ever drank it once. And she'll pour into Tommy's glass, into her own glass, and a third glass for Jericho. She'll hold it up.
Glug.
She'll stop you before you can get to that point.
Ooh, ooh.
Arm
Hey,
goes ahead and raises, gets to her lip. Maggie is like, no, 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 no.
She looks at Maggie and shakes her head. The last time I broke into this was after I came home from the hospital, after Keith had passed. I only took one drink of it, or one glass of it, and then put it away. Seems fitting that now's the time we break into this. So, she'll hold up her glass.
thanks. I'm glad that was you guys. She'll hold it up and clink it.
To the nicest asshole I ever met.
Clink. Rupert Lovechild, who was, in the truest sense of the word, a man who was, in the truest sense of the word, a vigilante, who's true to himself and all the romantic bullshit that goes along with it.
All the orgies, too.
Of course.
And she'll raise it once and then sip from it. And what a wonderful brandy it is.
Oh, wonderful.
Told will laugh a little and sip it as well.
Maggie will reach out and just kind of grab Tommy's hand. Promise you I won't do that again.
She'll sort of squeezes it and then flicks Maggie on the nose. You better not.
What are, I'll make sure that I don't. Can't go having, and she'll say it very tentatively, but can't go having my cabal mate worrying about me like that. And I think there we can call that a scene. Thank you all for watching.